In my freshman year of college, I took a communication class. I visited with the Toastmasters for a brief period when I was working at Stanley Nissan as the business development coordinator and plan to go back. They really taught me to think the ums out of fast speaking. And when I was watching myself on video, last night, I realized that instead of saying I made little facial gestures.
So what was that? KJMP. They ran my ad at the beginning. You couldn't tell in the studio. Ran her ad. Ran mine, there was no audio. So I phoned up. They ran it again at the end. With audio.
If you left, that would be frost-free. I'm sure everybody's trying to get the last of their garden in. We don't have a microphone, so your ability to project will be the equalizer. So let me tell you how we're going to do this. We're going to do the school board all at once. Whoever's here for the school board, seat C and seat D. And in advance, I'll tell you that Sue Hall is out of town, and she sent her regards. She's running unopposed for seat C. The other candidates will come up. We'll give 1 minute introduction, and then we'll come back for a 2 minute of why you're running and why we should be supporting you. And there'll be no questions at that point. Then we'll go through and ask them to sit down and do assembly seat B and I together. And we'll go through the same format. And I will go through, and then we'll do assembly seat C, which has. There are 5 people running. They're not all here yet. Excuse me. And I'm going to go through the list the way it appears on the ballot. So both times. So there'll be no rotation. So Tammy Smith appears first on the ballot. She'll be the first one to introduce herself and the first one to do for 1 minute and the first one to do the 2 minute. And we'll just go down the list that way.
Jessica Smith and Tammy Wilson, but that's okay. You can
I'm sorry. Okay.
You can go whatever you want.
So did we understand? Did everybody hear? Am I loud enough? Can you hear in the back?
Yes.
Okay. Susan's having a hard time. So that's going to be a treat for everybody. So you're going to have to project. And Susan, if she's in the back, if she's looking at you like she doesn't understand what you're saying, she doesn't, because you're not speaking loud enough. So I will try and keep you to with about the 1 minute. We're not going to be very strict, but if you're starting to roll on to 1 minute and 15, 1 minute 20 seconds, or it's like I'm going to cut it off. I have to be gone at 1 o'clock, so it will be done after everybody does their introduction and for the 1 minute, and then the 2 minute why we should be supporting you. Then there'll be questions for everybody at the very end, after they're done. So everybody can come up. I would prefer, and many people would prefer, if your question is focused on, if you have a school board question, hopefully it would be regarding everybody that's on the school board, if you have a borough assembly. So it's not just targeted at one person, so other people can answer the question. And with that, I will bring up the school board seat D, which is Jessica Smith, Neva Baker, and Christina Brophy. Are they here? They are here. We're delighted to have you. Thank you for coming. Ladies, thank you for being part of the political process and stepping forward and wanting to do this and wanting to serve. So the order will be Jessica Smith, Neva Baker, and Christina Brophy. So Jessica, you go first, please.
Thank you. I'd like to thank you all for being here today and for the opportunity to speak and share some ideas with each of you. My name is Jessica Smith, with a K, and I've lived in the Fairbanks North Star Borough for over 16 years. Since moving here and since graduating from high school here not too long ago, I've observed a great number of changes in our schools and in our students. And I believe that I bring a fresh perspective and a unique insight and to how to meet the needs and the challenges facing today's students. I believe that we need to reach out to our community to obtain diversified funding, non-traditional funding for non-traditional programs, to reach a more diverse group of students. I think that when it comes to funding, we should never be restricted or constrained to what is provided to us by the state, federal government, or the borough. We really need to think outside of the box. Our community is very proud of the schools that we have, and our schools are very proud of our community. And I think that by fostering greater community relationships and ties between the community and the schools, we can see overall increased performance in our students and decreased dropout rates. This comes with adding additional extracurricular and sports offerings, and by fostering relationships between the unions, the apprenticeship programs, and other types of internships. I believe that we need to better utilize the technology that we already have to keep more of our students interested, active, and engaged. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Eva Baker, and I have been a resident of North Pole for about 16 years. And my husband and I first came up here with the military, and he's now with the Guard. We have 5 children, 4 of whom have graduated from schools here in the area, and I have one who just entered as a freshman into high school, so it's a whole new ball game. I also have 2 grandchildren, and one was just born last week, so brand new baby on the block. And then my biggest reason for running for school board, especially right now, is that once again, having children in school, having been through the school systems and seeing what there is there, I've always been a very, very involved parent, and I feel that that is extremely important that we continue as parents to be involved. I'm pleased to have children that have gone through the public schools here. I've been very pleased with the public schools, and I think that there is more that we can do. I look at being a part of the school board as being a team member. And so we have team members, individual players who have now left the team, and those team members need to be replaced. It's not that, you know, we're coming in to completely wipe the slate clean and say, here's what I want to do. We are basically replacing a member, and that's how I want to see the things that I do. I'm very pleased with the way that the school board has, with the objectives that they've set for 2010. I want to continue to see that we meet those goals and objectives. They're very important to me, and that's another reason that I'd like to serve. So I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Christina Brophy, and obviously running for seat D, and my husband and I have been here just like Neva. The military brought us here in 1995. Bill had always wanted to come back to Alaska. He was here in the 60s and went to Lathrop High School, and that's his claim to fame. He only went to Lathrop 2 years, but always wanted to come back to Alaska because he just loved Alaska. And so we were thrilled to be able to get the opportunity to come back here. We have a son, Josh, who went through the Lathrop, schools here in the area and graduated from Lathrop this year, and took him off to college this summer in St. Louis University. You can see on my bio. And so I think that's what motivated me more than anything to decide to run for school board, because, you know, here I am now suddenly faced with an empty nest, and all these years have been active within the schools, active myself going to school. In the last 5 years, I've attended University of Alaska, first to finish my undergraduate degree in psychology, and then earn my master's in education and guidance and counseling. And during that time at the university, I really, I was fortunate as a graduate student to be able to be a teaching assistant and have the opportunity to teach undergraduate classes, hear the voices of the students that were coming up from the schools here in the local area, and then after graduating, being involved in research at the university. And so that, more than anything, I think kind of sparked my interest, because, doing surveys and doing studies on middle school transitions, on teacher satisfaction, on administrator satisfaction, really just kind of just added to my desire to become a school board member.